Hi, it's Mike Gow here. I'm here with Interdental TV and I'm here chatting to the fantastic David Devine. Hello.
I wasn't sure what I could do. I said it and hope that it did.
It's great to see you again.
It's good to see you, Mike.
It's been a while, we get busy and
Yep.
life goes by, but I was really excited to come and catch up and hear a bit about what you're doing these days.
Yeah.
So first off, tell us, you're a dentist, first and foremost.
I'm a dentist. Well, I was previously a musician, so
Indeed.
a full-time touring musician,
Yeah.
and then went for a full change of career. So in 2009,
Yeah.
and a lot of your help and advice as well at the time,
Yeah.
I decided to take the journey to become a dentist. So.
Yeah. So I mean, so what year did you qualify in dentistry?
I qualified in 2015.
2015.
From Glasgow.
Yeah. And you're working in a practice in Glasgow just now.
I'm working in Baillieston.
Yeah.
For Clyde Munro.
Okay, good. And that's a single-handed practice.
Single-handed practice. Yeah, it's just myself in there. So.
Excellent. What sort of dentistry do you do? What do you enjoy? Is it fairly general?
Well, I'm doing quite a lot of the cosmetic teeth straightening. So,
Oh, good.
so CFast, which I find works for me, but they're all generally really the same, aren't they? So
Yeah.
6 month smiles.
Yeah.
And I do a lot of private work there as well, but it's mixed NHS and private.
Okay, excellent. So jumping back, and obviously the people that don't know you will have heard that little part in the intro there and thought you were a full-time touring musician and now you're a
Yeah.
dentist. That's a bit crazy. So when we first met, you were in a band. You were.
I was playing for Calvin Harris,
Yep.
so I did the first few tours with him, and helped put the live band together as well. So yeah, that was an interesting time. You know, jets and helicopters and everything else, touring all over the world, doing all the biggest festivals and all the TV shows as well. So it was quite incredible.
Yeah, I remember vividly the day that you said you were thinking about a change of career.
Yeah.
And it was a works night out, and I think it was a karaoke night.
Yeah.
We were out on, and we'd all had a couple of drinks, kind of thing. And you said, Mike, this is what I'm thinking of doing. I'm going to change.
Destined for dentistry.
I want to be a dentist, and I can
Yeah.
still remember. I kind of went, okay, shh, it's okay, it's okay. Because for me, I just thought, you're a talented musician. You've got this career. Why would you swap it?
Yeah.
What was your rationale? What made you want to switch from what you were doing to study dentistry?
I guess with music, it's something you can always have. However, at the time I was making a good living from doing it, but I didn't see it having longevity. And plus, I was the guy playing for the guy.
Aye.
So looking towards the future, I was kind of worried about what happens when this ends.
Yeah.
And obviously, I knew yourself and a few other dentists as well that sort of inspired me.
Yeah.
And I did think, God, I could get that, my teeth into that.
Yeah.
No pun intended, but that was it for me.
And certainly at that time, because obviously you came along to the clinic with Jamie. We were doing because you were kind of immersed in it from the start. So it wasn't as if you didn't know what you were getting into either.
Yeah.
I think your eyes were fairly open.
I'd absorbed a lot of it
Yeah.
to make that decision. It wasn't like a sort of quick, God, I want to be a dentist. Music's over for me.
Yeah.
I think it took about a year or so to even make the decision, but I eventually got there and decided this is what I wanted to do.
Yeah. I'm guessing as well, lifestyle-wise, I think people. I think people look at other folks' lives and they think, this person's a musician, they're an actor, or they have this life. That must be amazing to have that lifestyle. But I don't think folk necessarily get how stressful that can be, and it can be an easy life. Not being in the one city all the time and touring around. And
I mean, there's a lot of travelling involved in it, sleeping on the tour bus, in hotel rooms, and then the lifestyle itself. It's party, and that can take its toll.
I'm sure.
So it was a great decision. I was happy to make the move. When I got my foot in the door in dentistry as well, I just worked hard because I knew I've got something good here.
Yeah. Well, I was going to say, because it wasn't an easy pathway, so did you have to reset hires? Is that right?
Yeah, so I did a course called the Access to Medicine course, and it was through Stowe College in association with Glasgow University. It wasn't a guarantee of getting in, so it was basically advanced hires, all the usual sort of chemistry, physics, maths, English, and you had to sort of ace them.
Yeah.
But then at that point, you had to do the UK Clinical Aptitude Test,
Yeah.
and also put a portfolio together,
Uh-huh.
do an interview
Yeah.
at Glasgow Uni as well before you know you were even considered.
Yeah.
So I was overjoyed when I got
Yeah.
accepted.
Well, that's it. I mean, I can remember at the time because there was a huge commitment and investment in your behalf to do the access course, but also doing that and spending it was a year that was, or was it 2 years?
So it was a full-time course for 1 year.
For a year,
yeah.
and there was no guarantees at the end of that. Even if you did everything that was asked of you, there would be a place for you.
Absolutely no guarantees. I think there was something like 34 people on the course, and there was only 4 people that were successful. There was 2 for dentistry and 2 for medicine.
Yeah.
So yeah.
And I remember having the discussion at the time about the interview, and am I right in saying that you took your guitar to your dental interview?
Yeah, that's right. I think there was someone else there with a trumpet as well. You know, I was like, yes.
They could at least show that they can blow their own trumpet.
Yeah, exactly.
And it was finger picking. I think it was to show dexterity.
It was to show dexterity. I had my portfolio. I
Yeah.
played them a wee tune on the guitar and win them over.
Fantastic.
They liked me.
Yeah,
So
indeed. So now, obviously, you've been qualified a few years, enjoying your dentistry, and have that stability.
yeah.
And at this point, so you're now looking back to the music and being able to start to work on that again, I believe. So we're obviously here in the recording studio speaking to you. So tell us a little bit about what's happening.
I mean, music never leaves you. No. I mean, even throughout dentistry, I'd be recording stuff,
Yeah.
and playing about the guitar, and writing music. So I've always wanted to have an album which is my album.
Yeah.
I've always been the guy, as I say, playing for the guy.
Yeah.
So I've been writing songs for a long time, but then I started really sort of writing songs that sounded like they belonged together, and I started getting an identity.
Okay.
Even the way that I sang as well had changed from when I first started singing. So I had the idea of putting an album together.
Yeah.
And again, dentistry, great, because you know now I'm making money and I can fund it myself. And bear in mind, it's hard getting into the studio because I'm so busy.
Yeah.
So it's like weekends, or I'll book annual leave just to get in, and that's why it's taken a bit of time to do it.
Yeah.
So I'm about halfway through recording the full thing, and I'm hoping that I'll have it finished by the end of the year. I said I'd have it finished.
Yeah.
By January this year, and
Okay.
obviously that's not happened.
Yeah.
But these things take time.
Well, again, you want it to be right as well.
Yeah.
You'd rather it was right than rushed. And
Yeah.
from what I've heard so far, it's awesome. So
Thank you.
You're on the right track. Yeah. With regards to the creative process, how there's a lot of chat about this just now because of the film that's coming out, the Beatles film, about the guy that wakes up in a world that the Beatles hadn't existed, and there's been a lot of discussion I've seen talking about the creative process of songwriting and how for a lot of musicians it's almost like that, the song just kind of arrives for them. What's it like for yourself?
For me, I mean, I record everything into my phone, on the dictaphone on my iPhone.
Yeah.
So I might have an idea. I woke up through the night and I'll hum a tune and I'll get my phone and I'll do it, or I just play about on the guitar or the piano and I'll come up with a riff. Sometimes I come up with a line, a lyric. So there's no sort of definitive formula.
So you don't sit down at a table and go, I'm going to write a song today?
No, because I'm always sort of like plugging about on an instrument anyway, so these ideas just tend to sort of arrive at me.
Yeah.
But usually for me it's not like the full lyrics, so I'll have the song and I'll hum various words that don't really make sense, and I might get a line out of it, and then the sort of last thing for me, I like to spend a lot of time on lyrics. And that's the sort of finishing part. But then the song needs to come into the studio, and it's like a whole different world, because things don't work always the way that you think they're going to work when you write a song, and then you listen to it and you go, God, right, you have to make sort of changes. You have to change the way that you play, because the studio is really like an instrument in itself.
Yeah, I guess that there must be a bit of a risk of over-engineering as well. I mean, when we came in, you played us some of the tracks from the album, and I'm listening to it thinking, this is awesome, this is brilliant, and you're going, no, we're completely re-recording this one today. It's like,
well, the one I let you hear, that one's not getting re-recorded. We're putting some sounds on it. So that was the re-recording.
Oh, well, that's fine then, because it was great.
So I previously recorded that one and I just wasn't happy with the tempo.
Right, okay.
I think there was some tuning issues because it's a strange tuning on the guitar that I used for that one. So yeah, I'd sort of listened to it and it was just, it wasn't right. So it was that was a full 2 days of that just got scrapped. But you know, you've just got to make it right. So we had a great day yesterday in the studio, and I've re-recorded it, and I've got the foundations of it and what I think is perfect.
Good.
And how I think it should sound.
Excellent. So how many tracks will be on the album then?
I've got, I think, about 14 tracks.
Okay.
But I think I'll have 11
Okay.
on the album, so I'll have to sort of make a cut. Maybe 12, we'll see. I just want to get the thing finished and out there as well. So.
Am I right in saying kind of motivation you're with regards to the profits from this? What's the idea with what you're doing with the album?
Well, I lost my sister to cancer in the 14th of December 17, and she'd suffered for quite a while. But in the sort of last year, almost a year, she was in the St Andrew's Hospice, and they were amazing. And I wrote a song for my sister before she died. It's called One Last Time, which is available now on iTunes to buy, and it's on Spotify and all the usual places.
We'll put up the links to that as well down here. So
so again, that inspired me to sort of have a sort of charitable element to the album as well. So I'm still trying to figure out how I can go about that. I've got meetings with St Andrew's Hospice and the person who deals with the press there as well. There's 2 music videos being filmed. I'm going to have an album launch, and I'll put a live band together for it, and possibly do some more live shows, and I might try and fit in some sort of fundraising for that as well. But yeah, I'd like all the money from it to go to the St Andrew's Hospice and the Beats and Cancer charity as well.
That's excellent. I mean, I think most of us have been touched to some degree, but I think when it's that close and it's that personal, your eyes are really kind of open to the work that's done by folk like that, and it's just it's outstanding, and we're so grateful that they're there. You know,
I mean, not just for people who are ill, but the full family as well. They're so supportive. I've made some real friends that I'm still in contact with, work there as well, and they were unbelievably amazing.
Good. So what's next? I mean, are you thinking beyond this album, or is it really just that's the goal?
Well, we'll see what happens. As I said, the music video's getting filmed, and it's going to have hopefully a big online presence. And I've got a team of people who want to help with it as well. And we'll sit down, put a plan together for it, get it all online. But the stuff that I posted on social media so far has gained a lot of following, and I've had people messaging me and asking me, "Oh, I love this track." It means this much to me, and the lyrics and everything else. So that when I get responses like that, that sort of drives me to think, well, actually, I might do something with this. But I mean, I don't have my heart set on it. However, I can always pull teeth and create nice smiles.
Well, that's it, and I think it's interesting having that the dual aspect of the career. I did an interview a while ago with Alistair Gillis. Alistair Gillis is a very well-known Scottish singer, sings in Gaelic a lot, and he remarkably managed to keep the 2 different elements of his career very separate. So there's a whole number of people that know him as the Scottish singer and the musician. They didn't know that he was a dentist, and a whole number of people that he was a dentist, and they had no idea that he was also a musician. And it's interesting when you speak to people, they suddenly make the connection and think, is that actually the same person?
I think with dentistry as well, you've got to have something else. I'm lucky because music was always there, so that's such a focus for me. But if you only had dentistry, you'd probably go a bit stuff crazy, because it's such a, yourself, it's a stressful career. You've got a lot of people to deal with, and a lot of responsibility as well. So you need something to unwind from that, and I guess for me, music is the main thing.
Absolutely. Like having a YouTube TV station.
Exactly.
So excellent. So you're off today. We won't hold you back too much longer, because obviously you kind of booked the session here, and you need to get it.
The clock is running.
Exactly. You're paying for this interview.
I'm paying for this interview.
And so we'll let you get cracking. So today you are adding on stuff to the track that you told us about.
Save My Soul. So recorded re-recorded it again,
Yeah.
with acoustic guitar and vocals, which I think is just perfect now.
Yeah.
So just some of the sort of ethereal sounds that are going to go over it today, and God knows what that is, but we'll get there by the end of the session.
Well, it certainly will be interesting. It'll be interesting for your patients as well, you know, as your music career kind of, and your solo career, I guess, kind of comes up.
Yeah.
It'll be interesting to see how that kind of balance works, you know, with your patients, you know, that it'll be interesting.
Try and book in the big tour with Clyde Monroe and book the time up.
Exactly.
We'll see how that goes.
Indeed. Well, listen, thank you so much for spending the time with us today.
No, it's
That was a
pleasure.
great interview, and I wish you all the best with it, and please buy the album. Not only is it phenomenal music, but as you can hear, supporting great causes, so you know, have a look. We'll put the links up. It's going to be released soon, and it's available, so please take a look. David, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Cheers. Thank you.
Cheers.
So I hope you enjoyed today's interview with David Devine. If you liked the interview today and you want to hear more from Interdental TV, please check the links out below and hit the subscribe button.
My eyes, you get a rush and take on the last of times. I wasn't sure what I could do. I said